Students, today we are ready with my next lecture. In today's lecture, we will discuss the structure of glucose, how the open chain structure of glucose was determined, and how further the open chain structure was changed into its cyclic form, which is called the Haworth projection form. So let's see what are the how do we do this. Let's see that. Glucose is a very we can say very abundant molecule which is found in almost all the we can say fruits. Glucose are found in honey. Glucose are found in a starch. Glucose is found in a cellulose. But glucose, we can say that glucose exists in two main forms. Mainly two forms of glucose exist. It can exist in a free form. Free form in form of glucose. It can exist in honey and fruit as a glucose. It can also exist in combined form. Combined form means it is not existing in form of glucose, but is existing in some higher polymeric structure, and that higher polymeric structure can be maltose, which is a disaccharide, can be lactose, which is a disaccharide, can be starch, which is a polysaccharide. So glucose can exist in a combined state and can exist in a free state. How do we obtain it? We can obtain glucose by the hydrolysis of its higher polymeric structure, and commonly we take sucrose for the hydrolysis, and commonly we take starch for the hydrolysis of the glucose. Sucrose is a disaccharide which is made up of glucose and fructose. So we take sucrose and we hydrolyze this in presence of acid, in presence of ethanol as a solvent, to get glucose and fructose in equal amount. And in presence of ethanol, when we cool this solution, glucose precipitate out and can be easily separated from the glucose and fructose mixture. Now we and second procedure is starch. We take starch and we, after taking starch, we hydrolyze the starch in presence of acid to get only the glucose molecule. Starch is a polymer which contains only glucose molecule. So when we hydrolyze it, we get the glucose molecule. So there are two methods by which glucose are obtained. Glucose is we can say is a solid compound. Glucose is a sweet compound. Glucose is a water soluble compound, which we can say is a water soluble compound which is having a melting point approximately 146 degree is the melting point of glucose, and glucose is found to be optically active compound showing the dextrorotative property, and hence it is called the dextrose compound. Now there are different reactions through which we will systematically determine the open chain structure of glucose, and by getting information from the different reaction, we will step by step move toward the glucose open chain structure. First reaction, we can say, first reaction, glucose when treated with in a elemental analysis, glucose formula was found to be C6H12O6. It was the formula of glucose found to be C6H12O6 by the elemental analysis. When glucose was treated with Hi and red phosphorus and reduction was done, a reduction reaction was done, a normal hexane was obtained, and hexane was obtained from the glucose. What is the significance of this anhexane formation? The formation of anhexane indicate that glucose exists in a linear chain form. Glucose is a linear structure. Otherwise, if agar glucose linear nahi hota, so we should obtain the branched compound or some branch reduction product. But we are getting a linear reduction product like anhexane. It means that glucose must be a linear compound, a linear chain compound. Second, when glucose was acetylated in presence of acetic anhydride and pyridine, glucose pentacetate was obtained. The formation of pentacetate indicates one important point, that glucose must be containing 5 OH group in its structure. Only then we can obtain pentacetate, because if there are 5 OH, only then the compound can give us pentacetate derivative. Glucose on treatment with hydroxylamine give us oxime. Glucose on treatment with hydrogen cyanide lead to the formation of cyanohydrin. These two reactions indicate that glucose must be containing some ketonic group, and this ketonic group can be aldehyde, can be aldehydic in nature, or this ketonic group can be ketonic in nature, because only these two function group like aldehyde and ketone have a tendency to react with hydroxylamine to give us oxime, and this hydrogen cyanide to give us this cyanohydrin. So it means that glucose must be a compound which may be containing a carbonyl group, and carbonyl group can be aldehydic in nature or can be ketonic in nature. So these are the different information we obtain from different reactions. These are other reactions in structural elucidation of glucose. When glucose solution was made in water and solution was found to be neutral, it indicates that If solution is neutral, it means that glucose must not be containing any acidic group. It means acidic group must be absent in case of glucose structure, because when we take the water solution, it was found to be neutral solution. When glucose was treated with tolerance reagent, test was found to be positive. When glucose solution was treated with Fehling solution, a test was found to be positive. And as all of us know that these two tests are given by aldehyde only, so it means that glucose is aldehydic in nature. Glucose must be containing some aldehyde group, and we know that aldehyde, if there is a aldehyde group, then aldehyde are always present at the end of the chain. So it means that glucose must be a linear chain molecule, and glucose must be is a containing aldehydic group, and aldehyde is a part of the end chain end. Okay, the next section is bromine water. When glucose was treated with bromine water, it gave the formation of gluconic acid. Gluconic acid is a compound which we have discussed in the previous lecture also, which contain a carboxylic group at one end, and rest part I am writing as it is. It means rest part are same as it is. There is no change in rest part. The formation of gluconic acid also indicate that if a mild reagent like bromine water can oxidize glucose, it means again glucose must be containing a very easily oxidizable aldehyde group. Only then a mild oxidizing agent like bromine water can oxidize it. So these three reactions indicate that glucose is aldehydic in nature, and as all of us know that it is aldehydic in nature, so aldehyde are always present at the end of the chain. So there must be something like this. It contain this must be something like the this type of structure must be exist in glucose. So must be some aldehydic compound, and resistance of structure must be in the linear chain with aldehyde at the end of the chain. This is another reaction which substantiate the structure of glucose, open chain structure of glucose. As all of us know that if compound is dihydroxy in nature, so they have a tendency, dihydroxy compound have a tendency to undergo dehydration reaction easily. If two hydroxy group are present on the same carbon atom, so they have a tendency to show the dehydration reaction. If they are present on the same carbon atom, so they have a tendency to show the dehydration reaction and lead to the formation of ketonic compound. But this type of reaction is not observed in glucose, and glucose are found to be generally stable. But dihydroxy compound which contain two OH on the same carbon atom are found to be slightly unstable. They have a tendency to lose water easily. But glucose was found to be stable in nature. It means that glucose must not be containing any two OH group on the same carbon atom. I repeat again that glucose must not be containing two hydroxy group on the same carbon atom, but because glucose is found to be quite stable compound, it means that glucose must be containing 5 OH on the 5 different carbon atom. Only then we can explain the stability of glucose. So glucose must be containing 5 OH on the 5 different carbon atoms. So now after observing these different type of reaction, what structure we give to this glucose by following different observation. Let's see what is the structure of glucose possible. We observe that glucose are obtained by giving an hexane. It means there must be 6 carbon atom. So glucose must be containing 6 carbon atom, because we obtain an hexane from the glucose by the reduction process. And we also observed that glucose was containing aldehydic group because it was giving positive Fehling solution test, positive tolerance test, and positive bromine water test. And aldehydic group, it means aldehyde are always present at the end of chain. So there must be something like this type of structure must be present in glucose. Third observation, we also found that glucose was giving penta-acetyl derivative when we treated this with acetic anhydride and pyridine. So it indicates there must be 5 hydroxy group in the glucose, and 5 hydroxy group must be present on the different carbon atoms, because we also discussed that the glucose is a stable molecule and does not show us any dehydration reaction. Therefore I am writing all OH group on the different carbon atom, because glucose is found to be stable molecule and does not show us the dehydration reaction. So after writing all hydroxy group on the different carbon atom, we are left with proton. So we also write the hydrogen to satisfy the valency. So this is the structure of glucose in a simple form. We can say a glucose contains 6 carbon. So I have written this 6 carbon chain glucose contains aldehyde, so I have written the aldehyde. Glucose contains the 5-hydroxy, so I have written the 5-hydroxy group. And glucose was found to be stable, so hydroxy are containing all OH on the different carbon atoms. So I have obtained glucose in a simple formula, simple structure containing 4 chiral center, and this is the structure of glucose containing 4 chiral center. But now this structure of glucose contain we can say 4 chiral center, and we know that 4 chiral center means there are approximately 16. There are 16 isomer of glucose which are possible. As all of us know, number of isomer we determine by number of chiral center. So chiral center are 4. So 2 to the power n, it means 2 to the power 4. It means 16 different derivatives are possible for this compound. This compound can exist in 16 different derivatives. So out of 16 derivatives, one is the glucose, and that one glucose is a one glucose. How do we determine that? That one glucose was determined by the help of a scientist, Fischer. Fischer was the scientist who actually determined out of 16 which is the isomeric form of glucose, and Fischer was the one who was successful in writing the isomeric form, in writing the complete structure configuration of glucose, and Fischer deduced and gave this configuration of glucose. I will explain how Fischer determined the configuration of glucose out of 16, how he was able to determine which configuration is belonging to glucose out of the 16. But before that, I am just explaining out of 16, 15 are different configuration and one is the glucose. So this is the glucose containing OH on the right hand side, so it is called the D-glucose. And this structure of glucose was determined by Fischer, and for this work he was also awarded the Nobel Prize for his work in glucose chemistry. So the glucose structure, we can say that this is the structure of glucose which was finally determined through our experimental observation and through the Fischer experimental efforts. The structure of glucose was found to be this, and glucose, as we can see here, contain again 4 chiral center. So open chain structure proposed by Fischer was this for glucose, containing 4 chiral center, HOH, OHH, HOH, HOH and CH2OH with 4 different chiral center. This open chain structure can react with aldehydic region. Open chain structure was reacting to give us pentacetyl derivative. This open chain structure was on reduction was giving us an hexane. So different type of reaction was given by this type of aldehydic, this type of glucose compound. But there was some reaction which was not given, which was not observed with this open chain structure of glucose. And what were these reactions? What were these observations? There are different observations which were not observed with this compound, and which due to not observation of these different reactions and different facts, the open chain structure was placed in some doubt. It means that the glucose must be existing in some other forms. So what are the different reactions which were not observed with this open chain structure? First, there was no CO peak in IR spectra. For this CO, if it exists in this open chain structure, so open chain structure, it means that there is the presence of CHO, and CHO should give us a peak for CO in IR spectroscopy, but in IR spectroscopy there was no CO peak observed. So it was very doubtful why it was not observed. We are not getting any peak for CO in IR spectroscopy. Second, no reaction with Schiff reagents. Usually aldehyde have a tendency to react with Schiff reagent to give us a positive test, but when glucose was reacted with Schiff's reagents, no reaction was observed. So it was again very doubtful why no reaction was observed if it exists in a open chain structure. No reaction with sodium bisulfite. Usually if we see the reaction of aldehyde react with bisulfite, to give us ONA and SO3H. Addition reaction. So they have a tendency to give us the addition product with sodium bisulfite. All aldehydic compound have a tendency to give us addition reaction with sodium bisulfite, but no reaction was observed with glucose when it was treated with sodium bisulfite. So again it created a doubt in the mind of the researcher why no aldehydic reaction was observed, which is shown by all aldehyde why no such reaction observed with glucose? Again, no reaction was observed with Grignard reagent. Usually, a Grignard reagent have a tendency to react with aldehyde, and they react with aldehyde. Grignard reagent, and give us OR, OMGX and R. Whenever Grignard reagent react with aldehyde, they give us this type of compound. This type of compound with aldehydic group, but this reaction was not observed with aldehyde of glucose in open chain structure. So again, it was very doubtful why no such reaction with Grignard reagent was observed. Second, a very important fact which was observed in case of glucose was that if glucose have a structure, which is I'm writing like, if glucose have a aldehydic structure, if glucose have a open chain structure like this, so it should exist as one form. But it was very surprising to observe that glucose was existing in two different forms. There were two different isomers of glucose were observed, and we were observing two different isomers when glucose was crystallized in different solvent mediums. When crystallization of glucose was done in water, so done in water, a different isomer was obtained. When crystallization was done in presence of acetic acid, a different isomer was obtained. Isomer which is obtained in presence of a crystallization in presence of water having melting point 146 degree, but isomer in presence which was obtained by the crystallization in acetic acid was having melting point 150 degree. So it was very surprising to observe that why glucose, which is appearing to be only one simple structure with very simple structure and it should exist as a one form, was giving two different isomer. So it was again very unexplainable point. These were all different type of unexplainable point given by the open chain structure. And third, last point is that glucose was consuming only 1 mole of methanol to give us hemiacetal, Glucose, as all of us know that aldehyde react with 2 mole of alcohol to give acetal, R, CH, OR and OR. As we can see here, all aldehyde, if you study the reaction of aldehyde react with 2 mole of alcohol to give us acetal formation. But when glucose was treated with alcohol, methanol, only 1 mole of this methanol was consumed. So it was again doubtful. So these different questions were raised. These different questions were very doubtful, which were giving doubt on the structure of glucose, whether it exists in an open chain structure or whether glucose exists in some other form. So by observing these different type of reaction, a question mark was raised on the open chain structure of the glucose. So there was a question mark on the open chain structure of the glucose. It was in the mind of the researcher whether glucose exists in an open chain form or in some other form, because these different points were not explained by the open chain structure of glucose. So they were forced to think of some other form of glucose, some other structure of glucose. So we will discuss that other structure of glucose possible in the next class. So till then, I say thanks to all of you. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.